Hello, friend. My name is Muyiwa Afolabi. Welcome to Frankly Speaking Daily. As a young boy, I was very timid and shy. I lacked confidence for almost everything. I didn't like the public eye. I didn't even like visitors coming to our home. I hated going out to anywhere, including worship centers, and my favorite moments were when I was at home by myself or with my parents and siblings all alone. I'm talking about when I was about 4 years to 10 years old as a child. I had a nasty experience of being mocked by a teacher and fellow pupils when I was in primary one. When I could not recite a poem we learned the previous day at age 5, and from then on, I ceased. My natural, God given courage vanished. Hitherto, before my primary schooling days began, when I was about 4 years old, my mom usually would leave my younger brother and I with our neighbor's maid at our neighbor's house when she leaves for the office every weekday. And this maid was mean and scary and would eat our food, the food my mom prepared for us in our food flasks, and threatened to beat us the next day should we report to my mom that she ate our food. It was really a crazy and scary time as a child. And when I turned 5 years old and I was being prepared in a neighborhood lesson to learn how to read and write numbers and alphabets, the lesson teacher was also very mean. He had whips and canes with which he would flog any child who failed to successfully recite the alphabet or write numbers correctly. I was about 5 years old, bruised and abused in the course of learning. All these childhood experiences and scary exposures completely eroded my courage in and for living. The world outside my immediate home without the presence of my dad, my mom, or siblings became very scary and intimidating for me. I completely lost my courage to face life. This problem persisted and was with me until my year 4 in secondary school when I met this classmate who took a liking to me unconditionally. He paid me so much attention every day, wondering why I was so afraid of everything and everyone. He was from a wealthy home and his dad was quite generous with cash. So he bought me stuff, paid for my lunch every day at school, took me along to different places in town, places I could never visit alone, and he introduced me to a lot of people, young teenagers like myself, from other schools who were better raised in this regard and were absolutely confident, unafraid people. This friendship helped me a great deal, and I began to do better with my grades. And in a short while, I joined the top three academic performers in my class, as this friend of mine also was quite brilliant. This academic achievement also helped my confidence, and I began to get involved in sports, football in particular. And by my final year in secondary school, I was appointed the house captain for my house. And after the leadership position and responsibility as a house captain, my timidity broke completely, and I became very confident and courageous. My dear friend, courage is simply the ability to do something that frightens you. Something that frightens you. It's bravery. It's doing something regardless of the fear you feel. My dear friend, what is frightening you? What exactly are you afraid to do? You see, the greatest men and women in history and even today are those who dared to do what they had to do, despite and regardless of their fear and fright. The number one hindrance to a life of success and great glory is not ignorance, it's not the environment or lack of opportunities, it is fear. Fear is the reason many hold back from venturing into that one thing that will change their lives for good forever. Fear is what makes you stick with the small, the stagnating, the uncomfortable, the oppressive, the unfair. but familiar things. Fear is what makes you avoid awesome opportunities for progress, for prosperity, and power. The fear of failure, the fear of pain, the fear of rejection, the fear of shame, the fear of public opinion, and the fear of embarrassment have ruined more destinies and frustrated great glories in this life than any spiritual attack ever would. Perhaps I should be clear on this with examples. You're not starting that great business because you lack the courage. Simple. You're still holding on to that dreadful employment without good benefits or a future because you lack the courage to quit. You're still tolerating that toxic relationship because you lack the courage to end it. You're still in that abusive marriage that is killing you slowly because you lack the courage to leave. You can't handle the shame and the gossip. You refuse to seize investment opportunities that will help your finances greatly because you lack the courage to risk your funds. You're so gifted, you're so talented, but you're yet to showcase it anywhere or to anyone that can help you because you lack the courage for criticism. You have great business ideas and products that can make you super rich, but you wouldn't activate as you lack the courage for rejection when you go out to sell. You're perhaps also quick to follow the crowd to do what is wrong because you lack the courage to stand alone for what is right. You also spend your hard-earned cash living broke, trying to keep up with what is trending because you lack the courage to remain different or unique. This lack of courage has kept you stagnant and non-progressive for so long in life, but you prefer to think it's a spiritual attack or the environment, and you hide under prayer and fastings and blaming leadership. Meanwhile, you know in your heart that your problem is lack of courage. My dear friend, courage is not the absence of fear. No. Courageous people are also they're afraid, they're scared. It is doing what you have to do regardless of your fears. That is the only way to progress, to break through, and achieve your purpose and destiny in this life. Great achievers are not lucky. They are courageous. Regardless of their fear, they still do what they have to do. They are courageous. Life favors the courageous, not the religious or the brilliant. Your qualifications and prayers would amount to nothing without courage. Dear friend, how do you develop courage? There are different concepts, suggestions, and ideas on how to develop courage, but I can confidently tell you that courage is an attribute that is contagious. It is an attribute that is what? Contagious. Courage comes through and by influence. To be courageous, you must seek and identify with people with that crazy courage to do what you need to do to succeed at what you want and need to succeed at. Courage is inspired, transmitted, and transferred by those who already have it. When you see and identify with other people doing what you're afraid to do, you will automatically develop the courage to do it as well. Most men fail because rather than get inspired by courageous people, they envy them and wish to see them fail to validate their own fearful disposition. When you relate and hang out with people who are too afraid to do anything great and glorious because they are afraid, they will naturally infect you with their fears. When you share your intentions or plans with them, you'll begin to hear things like, are you sure? Better be careful, better play it safe, or better be thankful and contented with what you have. A bird in hand is better than two in the bush. Why are you so greedy? It's by grace, Jerry, not by power, and so on and so forth. They'll keep using idioms, proverbs, and even the scriptures to discourage you. When you're close and intimate with the fearful, you will be fearful. When you sustain a continuous communication with the fearful, you will remain fearful. But if, however, you every day interact, relate, discuss, and listen to courageous achievers and record breakers, your courage will find full expression as well. Dear friend, what do you want to achieve in this life that someone else hasn't? What is it? If another person has done it, why do you think you cannot do it? Why are you afraid to try? Courage is not the absence of fear. I've said that before. It's doing what you need to do regardless of your fears. Dear friend, Contract courage. It's infectious. It comes by association. Find your courage. I again want to remind you that a good quality life that shows full manifestation of who you are and why you are in this world must be adequately funded. Even to achieve your purpose and destiny in this life, you need to fund things. Life can be rough, tough, and challenging if you're mostly broke and can't afford important basic stuff in this life. Do you want more money? Then listen to me. In today's Nigeria, any cash that you have at hand or in bank is automatically losing its value every day. I've said this over and over again. What it could buy a month ago, it can't buy it today. And any investment that you have made yielding less than 18% return per year is also destroying the worth of the cash invested, as inflation is currently at about 18%. Do not be a victim of the environment. Develop the courage for investment. Be proactive with your hard-earned cash. Wisdom is to invest in something that will yield way more than 18% every year. That's how the money you're making now can still make sense tomorrow. Make it appreciate above the inflation rate. That's the difference between the thinking of the rich and the average and the broke in any society. I am the CEO of ATN Power Ranch, a livestock investment company, and with as little as 100,000 naira, you can own a cattle or more at the ranch and earn over 50% return on your cattle sale in 1 year. The ranch is secured, your cattle will be insured, and your returns assured. Food will always sell, ladies and gentlemen. 200 million Nigerians will eat every day, no matter how difficult the economy becomes. It won't be a bad idea if you own over 100 cattle, safely breeding and multiplying within the next 5 to 10 years. If you do not consider this opportunity, is it again based on fear? You lack the courage to expand your wealth? Come on, don't take chances with your future finances. Respect your sweat. Complaining about the escalating cost of goods and services won't help you. Be proactive with your funds. Seize smart opportunities the way the courageous do. Do the needful. For more details on this investment, simply text RANCH on WhatsApp to 0802 569 6670. That is 0802 569 6670. You will thank me tomorrow, I promise you. And for that business, career, finance, or personal development challenge you're facing, simply visit my online store. That is www.pagestack.shop/Muyiwa Afolabi for business, career, and life coaching packages that will transform you totally. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button on this channel to have Frankly Speaking daily episode delivered to you every day. Muyiwa Afolabi is my name. Please enjoy your day.